Today we're going to be talking about the installation of one of our state map wall safes. These can be done with either a key card or a key fob. This one happens to be set up with a key fob. It can be set up to run both. So you could have on your mantle, you could have a Christmas card with just a thin card on the back of it, and you make the swipe and it opens, or you'd have it set up on a keychain. It opens up. Your valuables are safe, where the kids can't get to them, where they're not seen. It doesn't look like a wall safe. It looks like a piece of artwork hanging on the wall, and it's got some hidden practicality to it as well. First step is going to be to find the studs. I'm going to mark each of their locations. The next thing you're going to need to look out for is check to see if the space where you want to put it has an electrical outlet below it. The space next to mine does. The space that I'm in does not. And so the reason that's important is because in a lot of homes the wiring runs up into the ceiling. Some homes it runs underneath the house. In this location I'm putting it is in the basement, and so I know that the wire runs up, and so I want to avoid the space that has the electrical outlet, which we are going to be doing here. Probably a good idea to also, have you something on the floor to catch the dust. We got concrete floor here, so I'm going to sweep it up when I'm done. So this is the piece that mounts on the side of our Alabama maps, just because the map is, the shape of Alabama kind of kicks up at one side. We want for it to sit level, and so we need a piece that matches the side of it so that it's level once we mount it. And so we're going to see if we can get that. Nowhere near ready for it yet. We'll have to cut us a little bit of a larger hole for that to fit in. I'm working my way towards the stud, but I don't want to come right up next to the stud because we want sheetrock. We want the sheetrock to cover this so that your hole is a minimum size when we actually slide the map into the wall. Alright, that looks like it's going to be good. There. Whew, okay, so we got the first screw in, which is enough to hold it, and then I'm gonna use this to use the saw to follow that down to the bottom and the top of it, and then we'll use our cutout to cut out the rest of the hole. All right, so now I've got the bottom and this side begun, so I can use our piece here and set that in place so that we can trace out where the rest of our hole needs to be. All right. So our next step is on this side, there is a gap between where the piece is going to slide in and the next stud. So I'm going to pad that out with a full 2x4 and one that's included that's been split at the correct angle so that we'll be able to provide support on both sides of the piece. I'm going to add in the bevel piece, making sure it stays. So like this piece you can slide up and down. I'm sliding it up until we reach the point where it is going to be out of the way when we slide in the map. So now we're going to be ready to actually slide the piece in and mount it. All right, helpful things for when we mount it. I already have the holes pre-drilled and the screws put in. When we slide it in, when it opens, there's a little bit of overlap to the side, so if the box can't be slid all the way in, there'll be a slight gap from the wall. Which is normal. That's just the way that it's built. We're sliding this piece in. Alright, get a little bit farther here. There we go. We got a good snug fit there. So when it's all the way open, I'm leaving it where it doesn't quite touch the wall, and that way we have just a little bit of wiggle room there. And I have put my screws in the wrong place. That's going to go into the sheetrock and not actually into the stud. So I'm going to correct that, and then we'll run the screws in. Then we're going to add one more screw to this side. And that should have us ready to... Okay, so that gets us where we now have it in here. It's in solid, like it's into the studs. It's not going anywhere. No one's taking this down without, tearing some stuff apart. There are, 4 3-inch drywall screws holding that in. So that's like pretty well solid. Closes nicely. So then all that's left is to put our insert in. So we've got our insert in. We're ready to go.